Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. We are back with match 2 of the Claymore group, the Group of Death. I'm Plywood, and I'm joined here with Metal Glenn Solid. How are you doing after that hot and heavy race?
We're all right.
Yeah, I'm doing
Just get
all right,
rehydrated
too.
and move on.
That's right. Hey, I would not be annoyed with that kind of performance in a race environment. 100, that is a fantastic time. But we are now in the second game of the Claymore group, Il Pazzo versus vermillionnoel. Just like the race before, I really feel like this could go either way. Pazzo got his first 102 just recently, and Noel, I think, also has a 102. Both of these players are very capable of 101s. I'd say they're also fairly new to the run. Kind of, Akuma's definitely the newest to the run out of the group, but Pazzo and Vermilion started at roughly the same time. So it's been really interesting to watch their progression. Vermilion's run console, any percent console all bosses, and now he's on PC all bosses. And Pazzo, originally an emulator console runner, so it's been pretty wild to see these console runners go to PC and see how they like or dislike it. In the case of Pazzo definitely prefers console. I do too, but
It's been something to see how pretty much everyone in the tournament has grown since they put their name in the hat. So it's, I think it's only going to go better from here on in.
Agreed. So we have some alert farming. It's starting to look less and less weird to me. Ooh, Vermilion going for a final alert a bit later than I would personally do it. Usually we try to end by the point of the Jeremy Blaustein credit, and I think this is going to delay his elevator a little bit.
By a second or so.
Yeah.
No, not really.
It might be a
Maybe
very small amount.
Yeah. Because their alert phase, assuming you do it right, is what, 12.5-ish seconds?
Pazzo going for that extra alert that's completely swag. Totally not necessary, but it's definitely appreciated. We're heading into the helipad or heliport, and the main thing you want to avoid here is not getting knocked down. Getting shot only loses 0.7, but getting knocked by this guard is so much worse. Pazzo getting shot and Vermilion not. The visual cue for these field mice is what I do is I look at the left mouse to know when to press select. On the console version, you can just hold up on analog and you can just keep on moving forward. But we do not have analog support on the PC version, so you have to just time that codec as well as you can.
Yeah, I think even between the two of us, how often we've ran this game, within reason, we still might have issues timing that codec on the PC port because of that.
It's a very subtle visual cue, and the thing about frame perfect codecs is you can be like 1 frame early, and it's super annoying because usually you don't realize it until it's too late.
And you go, oh crap, I just lost 1.5 seconds.
Yeah, it's not really worth it, ultimately. No. It's not worth it. So we had already a luck variant between the two runners. One got the fast elevator, one didn't. It's only the first elevator. I mean, we have probably like 10 elevator rides. So I actually want to count.
I've never counted either.
Yeah, I'm gonna count this because like on any percent it's 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, any percent it's 4. All right, I'm going to do some counting right now out loud. We're
You
all
can
going to
get the
count
tallies
together,
going.
chat. We got a little bit of time. So we go the cell and then the armory, first floor, B1, B2, B1, first floor, B2, 1, B1, that's 10, and then 11, it's 12. If someone wants to dispute that, feel free, but I believe it's 12. We're not counting the elevator in Tower B, by the way.
No. No. I've got a way to count, so I'll count throughout this run because now I want to know.
What are you waiting for? Shoot!
But if it is 12, you could potentially save 24 seconds if you got all perfect elevators. Now, the chances of that luck are infinitesimal to get all perfect. It's already pretty nutty to get 4 perfect elevators in an any percent run.
I
So
think
it's-
only Trom's done it. To my knowledge, anyway.
Yeah, like a couple times, and the chances are so low. Because I think like a perfect elevator is probably like 1 in 6 or something, 1 in 8.
Yeah, something stupid like that.
Both had really nothing extravagant happening in the cell fight. Pretty typical stuff. Really what we're interested in is whether either of these runners are going to go for Grenade Ocelot. They both have plenty of SOCOM ammo, so it's not like they're strapped for bullets.
I think Pazzo will. I don't know about Vermilion. I think Vermilion's going to go SOCOM.
SOCOM is definitely the safer bet. And I don't think the race would necessarily be determined by Grenade Ocelot. Ooh, my friend Vermilion accidentally blowing himself to the wrong side. Not a good feeling. Not a good feeling.
I think the only thing worse is blowing yourself up into the corner there.
Yep, Paz is going for grenades.
Okay, it's on.
I understand the
Oh no. Vermilion only has 1 bullet. He has to like chase Ocelot around, do a full lap because he has no ammo. So it's not a great SOCOM from Vermilion. I mean, he recovered fine, but that was costly given that Pazzo successfully did grenades.
Very textbook from Pazzo on the Grenade Ocelot.
Yeah, Grenade Ocelot is tricky, but if you can get it down, not only are you saving time, but sometimes SOCOM can be a little bit wonky, just because of how shooting in this game works. So if you can get it down, in a way, it is more consistent. But it just requires a lot of practice, and the advancement. This tournament has really helped Grenade Ocelot. There's been some adjustments, some new strategies, so it's really done wonders for grenades. It's come a long way since the original grenade strat years ago.
You want to know what's funny, though? We were talking about elevators earlier. Vermilion's gotten 3 good elevators out of 3 elevators.
That's helpful. That's helpful.
That's insane. Like, but in no realistic scenario should you count on that ever. So let's see how Pazzo handles the M1 tank here.
They both go for a duck strat. Totally respectable. They're just trying to keep it nice and clean. It's better to run forward, but it's a very specific X coordinate that you need to be at so that you don't get
Vermilion
blown
threw
up.
wide.
No, it's totally fine. So Pazzo has a little bit of a lead, about 10 seconds or so. As we continue to say throughout this tournament, though, don't count on that. Don't count on it. A little bit of buffering, at least for me, for
Yeah,
Vermilion.
I'm seeing it too. I think he may be dropping frames. So hopefully he catches up here in a minute.
I guess the West Coast is not the best coast for the internet. Vermillion's gonna like go backstage and be like, we need a San Francisco RTMP. I need that slightly better ping.
But it's reasons like that we go to IGT first.
It's true, it's true.
Because
So-
that little bit of lag might make the difference visually. So
The Nikita, don't sleep on the Nikita. It is kind of easy to mess this up, and it is pretty costly. Like, if you fail it near the end, it's like 10 seconds, and that would completely remove the gap. Pazzo, totally adequate on the Nikita. No problems. I've started pause buffering, actually, for the turning. Oh, no, that angle was no good. No good angles. No good angles on that one.
luckily for him, he actually blew up that turret, so it wasn't going to mess with him a second time. But that's about 11, 12 seconds right there. So Vermillion's got some work to do.
Yeah, that is very unfortunate for Vermilion. So he's bleeding a bit early. We're seeing a little bit of, a little bit of some chinks in the armor, but Ninja RNG could flip it. It's not unheard of to get perfect luck on Ninja during the hide and seek phase, and that could save 20 seconds if the competitor gets the worst RNG.
See how Pazzo handles fisticuffs phase here.
I would say the most annoying thing about this fight is the auto aim on your punches can sometimes cause you to whiff attacks. I don't know if you've experienced this, Glenn, but it can be an issue. Like, he'll just like punch in a way when you're facing Ninja that like an attack will miss. And oh no, Vermilion getting kicked. Thankfully, he did not pull his weapon out, so the Ninja's not running away.
But to answer your question, I have not experienced that particular scenario. I have experienced when I'm standing a little bit to the right of where Vermilion is now, right on the corner of that desk, I've had him spawn above me, and that's at a very awkward angle to the point where it's like, how do I hit him? That's the weirdest thing I've had with this fight. I've not had what you're talking about.
Nice second spot for Vermilion. Hopefully we get another spot right there. Sadly, like far away on the west side, so just kind of okay for Vermilion on the luck. A very clean Ninja fight from Pazzo. As long as he doesn't get electrocuted here, so he knows the spot. Very important that you know the spot and you don't get too close. The AoE on this electric sphere attack is huge. It's gigantic, so you got to be very careful about that.
It's almost to the point where I would call it obnoxious.
It is obnoxious. I agree with that assessment. So thankfully, no bone and sinew for Vermilion. So even though there were some issues during the second phase of the fight, did not get that extra line, and that is a very costly time save on easy. That's one of those points, like the Ninja fight. People say, well, easy is easy. Well, you look at Ninja and you make a mistake, you're going to lose a lot of time, potentially, due to your damage values just not being in line. That's one of those moments where, sure, the Ninja doesn't do as much damage and attacks more slowly, but mistakes are very costly.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but we're at 5 elevators now? No, 6. I missed one. 3 into tank hangar, going down to B1, B2, B1. Yeah, that's 6.
So if my math is right, we're halfway there.
I know this place better than you. I'll be point man. Follow me.
So Mantis is one of those fights that
What happened to the music?
it's easy until it's not.
Make sure you're ready,
Like,
okay?
once you actually understand how to position yourself, it's not so bad, but like you miss a shot or you're like not lined up, and then things can get away from you really quickly. And then the grenade throw on top of it, the grenade throw to cause the phase skip with Meryl is tricky. I would call it tricky. You have to be able to position the throw just right so you can hit the center of Mantis. Pazzo
Also
going
got the
for
flip.
the flip, nice and clean, getting above that tile line, which is exactly what you need to do to make Meryl not move. Ideal. By the way, this Meryl flip only saves like half a second, if that. It's a very small time save.
It's more
Vermilion
so
also
funny
going
than
for it.
anything else.
Hey, optimizations, we take those. I'm glad we found yet another, well, Lime's found it. He's not participating in the tournament, but you know, you get the brain juices flowing. You watch a lot of MGS
Or not
one.
Vermilion. Pazzo having an issue with that fourth shot, but he got it. 6.
Yeah, I'd say he's just like a little bit too far away, and it caused aiming there to be a bit weird.
Maybe he's scared of the chairs. I don't know.
You
'Cause
have
he seems
know
to do that
exact
consistently.
spot. Vermilion? You know, oh man, the grenade was off. Oh no. This is looking like
Uh-oh.
my race against Tyler right now. You're just like having trouble getting the grenade going. This is exactly what I mean. Like, you know, if your plan falls apart in Mantis, sometimes you just get a little bit panicky and, you know, the chairs are in your way. It can be annoying.
Just once again, know what to do when things go wrong. Know your backups.
And that is super important for Mantis. This is just such a complicated fight. And apologies to anyone who used my All Bosses PC tutorial, because really you could spend probably about 30 minutes, if not more, talking about this fight. It is that complex. There's so much variation. So,
Mantis deserves his own video at this
oh,
point.
oh yeah, like you can the video on Mantis. Not only do you have console and PC variants, you have the difficulties as well to consider.
It just sounds like a headache.
Oh yes, oh yes. So Pazzo doing the box out of bounds, gets it nice and clean first try. Well done. Vermilion continuing to bleed time against Pazzo. Continuing to bleed some time.
What's wrong? I thought you were good with dogs.
Fortunately, did not really get the ninja or mantis to
I'll take point
make the
man.
difference.
Stay back.
Also opting to not go out of bounds. That is going to lose Vermilion about 5 seconds-ish
Me.
over Pazzo. So it's a bit of a nasty gap. Yet as we've seen with other races, the wolf fights can really be the great equalizer in all of this. Not necessarily through your own fault either.
Pretty good, huh?
How did you know where the
Though
ruins were?
anyone who's played Wolf a lot will understand that it's all about taking your opportunities, and if you miss those opportunities, you can be punished
A little bit.
either not that much or really hard. And being able to take those opportune shots against Wolf is really, like, I'd say the hardest part of the fight. Being able to always be able to do that. Keep her attacking you, keeping her out in the open. A little bit janky on the prone for Pazzo. He was angled a little bit off. Means his stun didn't really work out on the timing. He didn't really need to punch the first dog, though. He should have just ran past that one. That one would continue to be stunned. So, a little bit of an opportunity for Vermilion here to hopefully have a better cave. Not throwing a stun. Very interesting. I wonder if he's doing anything else with that stun grenade then. Because I don't think he used it in the Bantus fight, unless I missed it. All right, predictions, Glenn. Do you think we're going to see an armory fail?
Armory fail. It's hard to say because I think it might come down to how each of them feels that they're doing, and then how much pressure they're going to put on top of themselves on top of that. So, is it in the cards? Absolutely. I believe I saw Pazzo earlier practicing a delayed stun throw.
It's really best to delay that stun more rather than less. The closer you cut it, the less time you have at the elevator. So I like throwing the stun basically right when I... When he got shot there, I thought he might have been on the pitfall. That was scary. That was really scary. Also go for that double stun throw. He threw a chaff. That is really interesting. Does that actually draw their attention away? That is so...
Unless he tried to time it with the guard waking up? I'm not quite sure. That's the only thing I could think of. You know, so instead of the guard coming into the elevator, if you got a good elevator and just sat there, the guard would turn around and go investigate the chaff. But that is... But we said it last week.
Close, Vermilion. Oh my word! That was so scary. So,
what is he? Oh, you're a bit ahead of me. Hang
on. So the reason why I freaked out there is it's very possible because of how alerts work in this game with guards. Like if you touch a guard, if you're interacting with their body, it'll cause an alert. So the way he did that, he was so close to the guard that was very, very close. It was just like
going for chaff,
barely there.
Absolute madman.
Nicely done on the chaff throw. Nicely done. Pazzo just looking very sharp this race.
Between him and Volcanic, I don't know who drives me more crazy with the strats that they're willing to do in a race.
Vermilion opting for the rifle, the safer option. It's a little bit slower, but nice and consistent as long as you know how to do the hand gymnastics if you're actually using the keyboard to match 0. Of course, some people use a controller with some of the weapon bindings on the controller itself. Very good option as well. Nice shot for Il Pazzo. You want to get those shots in as quickly as possible when she's hitting you. Oh, this is looking really nice for Pazzo. What a great fight. Getting that tracking shot as she was going to the pillar. Perfectly timed. Just a well-executed fight overall. That is going to be a tall order for Vermilion to follow up with.
Vermilion having trouble with GME 2 here. There he goes. As Pazzo's headed to the medical room.
You know, for someone who doesn't like this version, Pazzo's looking pretty snappy with it, that's for sure.
I think that's just his competitive spirit.
Good shots for Vermilion as Wolf sits down. A little bit of trouble. Oh, man. You got to aim a little bit higher, Vermilion. Just a little bit higher. I like to aim a little bit higher when she's standing up. Like, at her body rather than, like, at her legs. I mean, it's still gonna work at her legs, but
Her
I think
hitbox is just weird.
it's a very weird hitbox. Like, that is one of the things where Twin Snake's Wolf is nice because you can still hit her hair, but it makes a lot more sense than the OG version. So, honestly, not that bad of a fight from Vermilion. It could have been a few seconds faster, but honestly, that's totally acceptable for that fight. I am not surprised that we're seeing this level of play. I mean, the Claymore group really is the group to watch in this tournament as far as the intensity of the competition. Now, Vermilion, I don't know if he's watching the stream on the side or not. And he might, if he was, he might be being like, man, this far behind. But as we saw with the last race, you have a bit of a wacky hind. Wolf 2 goes poorly. That's all you need. The gap isn't that big. And beyond this, I'm really wondering if Pazzo keeps this up, he's gonna get a 101 this race. His biggest issue is his liquid fight. That is really like a Pazzo's Achilles heel. And has he been actually learning the infinite or getting more used to it, Glenn? Do you know?
I asked him about that. He says he can do it, and I watched him do a run earlier where he was getting little spritz of the infinite, but he has not, to my knowledge, in a run, just hit the infinite one try.
So that is going to be a big X factor at the end of the game, because Vermilion, I think Vermilion goes for single punch, but he's pretty consistent at it. So that can make a huge difference. It's not that Pazzo's bad at the fight itself. It's just that there is a ceiling to how fast you can do the fight without doing the infinite. There's only so much you can do without doing punch combos. So when Pazzo can get consistent at the infinite, watch out. Like, watch out. He has made some huge gains in this version very quickly. Same with Vermilion. Vermilion, no slouch either. Pazzo actually going for a GME, opting for a GME, entering the canyon. Just to avoid throwing a chaff, I think.
Looks like it, but you have more than you need, unless he wants to go for it again, but he still has more than enough.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Pazzo going for the chaff cook. Yep, here we go again.
Madman.
Nice throw, very clean. Just have to throw the guard, and he does it cleanly, beautifully. Mwah. That was a good throw. It can have some variance. You can cook a little bit later, cook a little bit earlier. The most important thing is to know how you're going to do it and make that your life's goal. If you're doing shaft throw, to do it the same way every time. Otherwise, it can mess you up.
We got a note here in the chat. Apparently, Pazzo's, one of his fingers he uses for the keyboard, it's potentially broken. Or is broken.
Is that true? Or is that just
I know
Roy
I was
being
watching
Roy?
him in his chat, he was complaining about it. So it at least hurts. So it might, I don't know.
If he is, I hope it heals okay for one
Yeah.
thing, but like the fact that he is putting this run out, if his finger is hurting or broken, I'm very impressed.
That's the word in the voice lounge. All right.
Very impressed if that is the case.
That's
I just hope he's not putting himself through more pain than he should. That's really
yeah. Don't
really, I'm not going to advocate anyone to be like, yeah, man, I'm going to keep on going in this tournament if my hand is broken or whatever. Like, obviously, your health goes way above and beyond a old video game from the 90s.
for sure.
So, we are now entering Tower A. Pazzo getting leaned up on the rail. It's easier than you think to like mess up your movement here. I really do prefer moving in this area with the analog stick. But we just don't have it on PC. We don't have that 360 analog, so you have to know how to pace out your D-pad movement and know when to turn. It sounds like, okay, so what? But you have to do this movement over and over and over again. It's kind of easy to do it a little bit early by accident while you're climbing the stairs. So all right, I'm going to be curious here. I'm going to take a look at the timer for when Pazzo hits the ladder, and we're going to see what this gap is right now. So he hit it at 22. I'm thinking this is probably about a 30-second gap.
Sounds about right. Or maybe Major's already done it for us if he's around.
Where's House Test? He's got the stats on lock.
He's got the stats. Major seems to be the unofficial timekeeper.
He's got the grandfather clock. He's like watching the clock in the background. His magnificent grandfather clock. Okay, this is over 30 seconds.
Yeah, this is more like 30, 39, 40. Oh no!
No, this is almost 50. Yeah. Yeah, about 50.
49, 49 and a half, so a lot of ground to make up. But I don't know how Vermilion does Liquid either, because that might just be a big advantage.
I think he does
have.
single punch infinite.
It's something.
It's better than PPK, that's for sure. So, assuming Pazzo goes for PPKs and gets like a 110, and Vermilion gets a 2, that makes up most of the ground. See how Vermilion handles his rappel. Ooh, that is not the correct angle to hold on that jump. And he gets shot by look, folks, if you mess up at all, you need to wait for the hind to do its shooting pass, because otherwise what's going to happen is this, like, you get shot by the hind, it delays your jump. So you have to understand that pacing with the bullets. Otherwise it could really mess you up. And that costed Vermilion a little bit more.
Already to the point now where Pazzo's about to start his second ascension here.
Pazzo doing the prone FPV, fixes the camera and gets you ready for the ladder. The thing is, you actually do have to go prone anyways, so even though you can break the camera and climb that way, there's really no point. Sadly, it doesn't really save you time doing that, so. Now, the next question is whether either of these runners are going to pick up the Stinger ammo by the ladder, which is, or more. I don't think I feel like both of them won't go for more stinger ammo. If they're gonna pick up any, they're gonna pick up the one by the ladder. So Pazzo goes by the one for the ladder. Goes FPV for no reason. So that was a little bit of a time loss. He already went FPV, but he probably just forgot. And goes GME first. Now, if I'm going to make a little critique, you don't need to GME immediately. You should go for the shot first, because you want to do that shot as quickly as possible, and the hind's not going to hit you.
I got nervous with that second shot for a second.
Oh, that was a whiff. That was a whiff. This phase 1 is hard. Like, we saw Volcanic Akuma have an issue. We're seeing, not Vermilion, Pazzo have a little bit of an issue. Though, I mean, it was a whiff shot. I mean, that's okay. It's a few seconds lost. You recovered okay. Recovered fine. Then you ask, okay, Vermilion, what do you got in store for us? Can you get that perfect phase 1? Make up that little bit of time that Pazzo lost? Gets that chopper blade shot. Do that second loop. Second loop much harder than the first loop, if you ask me, because the path can be a little bit weird. Nice shot. And Pazzo waiting for the hind to fly back over to the building. It was a very good phase 1 from Vermilion. So he made a little bit of ground up. As Pazzo goes for his loop. Being nice and patient with these shots. Gotta, you know, the way to time this out is by judging by the bullets flying. It's a very good audio cue to know when to shoot. You know, even though the first phase was not perfect, that was still a totally acceptable hind from Pazzo.
Missed one shot and only cost him a couple seconds. I'd take that.
Yeah, totally take that in a race environment. Now, as long as Vermilion has a clean phase 2, he's going to make up a little bit of time. He's going to make a little bit of ground up, but it's basically the ground he lost during the rappel. So
we're back to that 49 seconds.
yeah, we're hovering at that minute mark, a little bit under a minute mark. A reminder to everyone who is new to the PC version of this game, the reason why the competitors are not taking any damage is a glitch called God Mode Exploit that involves interrupting the PSG1 animation, and that causes you to become invincible to most forms of damage. It really forms the core of this speedrun as far as the strats are concerned. It lets you go out of bounds, it lets you skip various triggers in the game, and it lets you avoid taking damage. Along with the razor sharp, lightning fast, etc. load times, and the ability to skip codecs and the credits makes this a very fast speed game. So Vermilion picking up the stingers at the bottom left corner. Getting that extra ammo for the Wolf 2 fight can make a heck of a difference depending on her behavior. Pazzo starts his Wolf 2. And if you're in Pazzo's shoes right now, you're hoping you have just as good of a Wolf 2 as you did a Wolf 1. You're going to get that fat time save. He's backing up. That is so you don't get shot by the barrier if you have to move. Because when you switch between Stinger and PSG1 in this version, you'll slowly move forward.
He's having some trouble hitting these shots on the move.
Yeah, those shots are difficult, and just run back.
Nope, she didn't turn back on him. I think he got lucky there.
You need to be a little bit more to the left, Pazzo. But even so, like, that wasn't a perfect fight given the circumstances. It could have been a little bit faster, but still totally acceptable as fights go.
Let's see how Vermillion's looks.
Vermilion misses a lot of shots there, and that is rough. You know, you only have so much ammo to work with, especially on PC, because you can only pick up a couple of packages. You get to pick up more on console. So that definitely makes a difference. He tries to go for that last shot. I respect it. Sadly, didn't make that shot. Now he's just trying to get these on the move shots.
He can't because he's out of ammo.
The Stinger on the move is really annoying. Very, very annoying.
Because it only hits her when she's stationary.
Pazzo going for his C4 Stinger variant successfully on the cargo, saving
Very
a few
nice.
seconds over the any percent variant where you run in GME.
It's too bad we can't use the Stinger at that point either in any percent.
Yeah, it's been really fun to see the advancements on All Bosses PC thanks to the additional weapons. You know, the any percent runners, it's like, what weapons? You know, we don't pick up weapons, but
We have
on
a
All
chaff
Bosses,
grenade
yeah, we have you have a chaff grenade, a Stinger launcher that doesn't work,
and a sniper with no bullets.
and a sniper with no bullets. So it's, you know, you don't really got that many options there. But on All Bosses, you get a gun, you
You got a
get
clean loot
Nikita,
too.
you got plastic explosive, you can even pick up a Claymore. That
The
would be
options are
slow,
crazy in all bosses.
but you got options. You got those options, that's right. So, Vermilion not really making up much time on Wolf 2, unfortunately. Now he is really banking on the PAL luck being in his favor and Liquid. It's not impossible, but you really wish you made up a little bit of ground heading in here, a bit more than what you did. Using the Nikita, which has a very obvious visual cue of when to shoot. It's kind of funny, like, originally the any percent PC route picked up the Nikita, and then people realized, hey, we don't need to pick this up, it's out of the way. So what's old is new on All Bosses PC. Since you pick up the Nikita, you can easily use that strategy, and it ends up saving a little bit of time and ending up being a bit more consistent.
When given two strats, if one is safer and faster, you should go with that one. At least I would hope so.
That is wise words to live by, folks. Wise words.
Well, barring disaster, of course.
Yeah, this is such a weird thing. It freaked me
Like what's
out
going on right now?
with that
Oh,
Stinger.
okay. There we go.
It's so strange. Like, if you equip the Stinger there, it like doesn't work properly.
It's
and
weird. It's like the Fox dialogue in Rex. It's
yeah,
weird.
yeah, it is super strange. The Stinger still works, but you're still in third person. And the first time that happened to me, it threw me off. Like, what's going on?
It happened to me just the other day, and I'm like, I
Stun
didn't
strap.
even know that the Stinger had a model in third person.
Very interesting from Pazzo going with a stun throw to get rid of the guard. Fortunately getting shot as he crosses over, and now he is heading into the PAL ditch. See what kind of luck he gets. If you're Vermilion, you're hoping that Pazzo gets the 7th position. And if you're wondering what the number means, 7, it's in order from left to right. So 1 is the one that's the most up and to the left, and 7 is the most up and to the right, with the in-betweener numbers in between. So
Vermilion going with the old school skating strat.
So we saw a difference in PAL luck being the determining factor in the last race. Will we see the same? He has to get extraordinarily unlucky, and he didn't. That
I
is
think he missed the spot.
he missed, but I think he did miss well. But thankfully, it didn't matter. That is not
It's not bad.
what Vermillion's hoping for.
No.
Didn't get perfect luck, so there is some room to be saved. But you have the same chances as the other runner. Saw God Bomb last race. Will we see God Bomb again? No, we won't. No, we won't. We will see a bomb. Oh, this is looking very unfortunate. Oh no, he got position 7. That is awful.
Yikes.
That is awful. So this race just went from bad to worse for Vermillion, unfortunately. Now he is completely banking on a pretty massive fail from Pazzo with his endgame. That lost him about 30 seconds over Pazzo. I mean, credit to Pazzo. This has been a very clean. There have been errors. It's not like it's been, impeccable. Volcanic and Glenn definitely had a stronger run at this point compared to Pazzo, but Pazzo's not that far behind by comparison. I think if he keeps it up, he could get a 1-on-1 this race. But it all comes down to that liquid fight. It really does. Fortunately, Vermillion did not get the chair trick to avoid getting spotted by the camera. If people are wondering what that is, it's a movement that allows you to avoid getting spotted by the camera as you exit. On any percent, oh my gosh, I call it any percent. When you're not going for Big Boss or Rank 1, you just run out of the room, even if the camera spots you. It's faster than going around the table. And the origin story of this strat is that I, in one of my older PS2 runs, avoided getting spotted by the camera just by sheer accident or coincidence. And we knew it was possible, but we didn't understand how to do it. And it was only thanks to the efforts of Limes later on that he figured out how it works, along with some, strategy adjustments from myself for the blue card, which we'll probably see from Pazzo coming up. And that's all for, a couple of seconds. But everything counts when we're at the end game here. It's been pretty wild to see the advancements in what would be Disc 2 on the console version. Over time, over the last few years, we've continually improved on this area of the game, and improvements are only in like a handful of seconds, fractions here and there. But because of how tight the end game is as far as what is and isn't possible, every time you get that time save, you love to see it. So Pazzo opting to go around the table rather than going towards the door directly. So that loses him a little bit of time. If Vermillion goes for the chair trick, you could save a few seconds over Pazzo. That's just one of those little things that could make a difference. While we're here during the PAL backtrack sequence, I want to remind you all that you are watching twitch.tv/Metal Gear Speedrunners. This is the premier place for Metal Gear speedrunning action from runners across the Metal Gear Speedrunners community. So if you're not already following this channel, you totally should. We got still more races coming up today, along with another full week of pool play starting this Saturday. So do check that out. Two more races still to come today for the other group that plays on Mondays, the FAMAS group, which I am a part of, and I will be racing next on the channel. Very excited for that, of course. Now, will Pazzo do any goofiness on this elevator? That's always a question. I think he's just gonna chill. Maybe he needs to tend to his finger if it's having problems, which I would highly suggest if that's the case. You know, a lot of speedrunners like to just like spam inputs, do wacky stuff while nothing's happening on auto scrollers. But some runners, one that comes to mind is B-Man, just minimal inputs. You only do as much as you need. And I like, I kind of go back and forth on whether I prefer doing a lot of inputs or a little input. Sometimes you just need to give your hands a break rather than just spamming inputs. But some people like doing that because it, keeps their hands warmed up. You're continually doing stuff, keeps your brain occupied, keeps you focused.
For me, it's always just kind of depended what mood am I in at that point in the run.
Yeah, mood is definitely a factor of that. I would agree with that. On console, I feel like it's better to just not do anything, just to give your arm and hands a break since, you're mashing so much. Pazzo heating up his card. Takes 1 minute and 1 second to do so. There's different cues you can use here. Music, visual, with the guard up top. Just using a timer. I don't think we're going to see either competitor check their card. Just a wild guess. We have yet to see anyone in the tournament make the big mistake, which is going all the way down to the computer room at Rex and not fully freezing or heating the key.
That's like 5 minutes right there.
It's so painful. I've done it before. I've done it before multiple times. Just try to cut it too close. I've even done it in a race. Thankfully it was on console, so I could tell that, the Naomi codec didn't happen. I got to go back up the elevator. But it is still just a massive time loss. So, Vermillion heating up his card now. And this is a nice point for reflection, time for reflection on the run you've had so far. I don't really feel like Vermillion played that poorly overall. There's just some key mistakes that really created this gap. And the best thing to do when you hit those mistakes and you do some more attempts or runs throughout the week, it's like, okay, what do I have to work on? What do I need to improve? And you just hit those areas, and that is how you improve. Whether you're completely new to the game, a veteran, you have a very good time, you have a time that needs improvement, whatever. You just find those big points where it's like, I made a mistake here, made a big mistake here, gotta practice that, gotta practice that.
especially in a format like this where you're guaranteed 3 runs. So if you lose one, you kind of go, okay, let's look at the run. What did I do wrong? Where can I improve? What does it need practice? Do I need to take this approach differently or that one? It could just be the way you look at it as a run, right?
Agreed.
So there's a number of things you can reflect on in this game and what it has to do with. So,
And of course, if you're new to the game, use the resources that we have. We have a bunch of information on the wiki, plenty of people that can help you out, and there's no shame in asking. That is how you get better. And, there's no need to feel bitter like, oh, well, I don't need your help. No. Everyone has improved by talking to each other. That's really how you improve and learn things. And you avoid making the mistakes and traps other people have fallen into when speedrunning a game. So were you counting all the elevators? Did you?
I stopped at 10.
You stopped at 10.
Unless you count the cargo elevators.
Oh no, we don't count. No. It's barely an elevator. It's like a slow descent into hell. How slow that elevator goes. At least the elevators in the early part of the base have some urgency to them. Okay, so Pazzo finished with his pal quest, and the permissive action link is done. It's time to fight Metal Gear Rex. Be curious to see what his method is for phase 2. Whether he's going to run forward or he's going to stand still. There's a bit of a dispute about this. Like, running forward is definitely safer, but I think standing still is probably faster, but only by a little bit, and you have to do it perfectly. So it's kind of a preference thing, but standing still is definitely harder for phase 2 rather than running forward. Aiming at Rex when it's standing up and leaning back to fire the missiles can be a little bit tricky. You got to find that proper X coordinate and just hold up and down. So for Pazzo going for standstill option. Respect. That was a good Rex from Pazzo. It was a good Rex. Didn't miss any shots. Very patient play.
If you win, you might still be able to save her.
And this is really where the rubber meets the road for Pazzo.
One brief moment of love before
Is he ready to do an infinite? Can he do the infinite? Will he choose to?
at this height.
If he's watching, I think he might for a little bit, but we'll see.
I'm rooting for you,
I don't
Pazzo.
know if he's been working on it since he ended stream today, so.
He's throwing. It looks like he's doing a double throw setup. He PPK'd.
Interesting.
I think he tried, but he just dropped it immediately. Now he's like, all right, I think I'm just going to do my fight, but he's missing these attacks. He's missing these opportunities, not hitting those combos. Going for it again? He dropped it.
This is what we were talking about. Vermillion might have the advantage here.
Yeah, Pazzo just needs to start fighting Liquid and abandon the effort.
At this point, it's not worth it. If you get, 4 or 5 punches in on him, great.
Okay, there you go. See, there's a bit of a combo.
There you go.
Another combo opportunity. Get some more damage, That's totally fine. Ducks the bull rush.
Slow on it, but
Now Vermilion, double punching. Pazzo gets kicked to the ground. Kicked to the ground again. Has to duck the bull rush. Just throw him off. Okay. Meanwhile, Vermilion, 205. He dropped it, sadly. Going for the single punch as the backup. Very nice. Gets the damage. Just need to do a PBK and you're done. All right. That was a good liquid from Vermilion, but it's not quite enough. It's not quite enough. I don't think Pazzo's going to have that much of a problem with escape. I mean, it's possible.
Not 15 seconds worth, I wouldn't think. But
You know,
yeah, it's doable.
It's possible, but like Pazzo needs to have horrible luck and he needs to start choking very hard during the liquid sequence. So, I mean, it was a good effort from Vermilion, but that PAL card really didn't do him any favors. Checkpoint 2 for Pazzo. Sadly, the guard goes all the way to the right, which is not what you want to see. Very annoying when that happens. That's why I do not shoot the right guard, because the chance for the guard going to the right all the way, I just don't like it. I'd prefer just avoiding shooting him entirely. But ideally you would. It's just, you know, it's another dice roll. All right, Pazzo. Get these clean shots, weaving in and out. Very nice. Now you got to get those transition shots. Number 1 and number 2. That is pretty much... that's pretty much it. I mean, if he landed those, it's just very hard. Very, very hard. I didn't get that one. So you only got 3 of 4. But missing a transition shot only loses you a couple of seconds. That's just not enough. Vermilion landing the last 2. It's very nice. 52 from Pazzo, 752. And I don't think either of them use pause buffering at all, so that is a GG. Yeah, that's a 102. A big GG for Pazzo on his win against Vermilion.
That's a PB.
102.26. It really is that liquid. That is really the missing piece of the puzzle for Pazzo. How's that for alliteration? And a 102.39. You know, that is not a big gap. Another pretty small gap. It came down to the PAL card again. It really came down to the PAL card again. If Vermilion had that left, if he had position 1, this would have been Vermilion's race.
So the PAL card strikes again.
It really does. It really does.
Hello.
Hello.
Damn, close race.
Hi.
Yeah, welcome, GG to Pazzo, GG to Vermilion on a close race that, just like the one before it, it came down to the PAL card luck. Unfortunately, Vermilion getting that worse luck, and that is the exact opposite of what you need in that situation.
Yeah, I mean, even then, Pazzo just completely outplayed me the whole entire run, so the only problem was liquid, honestly, so he deserves the win for sure. Like, good games, man.
GG. Well, I didn't watch the stream. I only watched when I was in a cell, and I saw that I had like maybe 40 seconds ahead. But it's funny because I almost lost the race because of liquid. I had an awful liquid, and you almost get it back because of that liquid. So
Oh yeah, man.
That was really funny, and thanks for the race.
Oh man, GG's, dude. Just like the big things was just the early game was really, really rough for me, but after that I cleaned it up. But Pazzo just played really, really well, played it clean. So GG's, man.
I'm gonna rewatch the race. I'm sure you did very well. What's your time? 39. Oh, it's really close
39, yeah.
actually.
Yeah, it was really close, yeah. I
Yeah,
got
that
the
was
position
just
7,
completely
man.
on that card. That card, luck really was the deciding factor in the end. Now, of course, there were things throughout the race, but Pazzo, you played at a 101 scale. It's really is just that missing part, which is the liquid.
Yo, yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
you
Pazo's
know,
definitely
I
101.
trained a lot on liquid, and I made like 2 or 3 infinite punch before the race, and then I just struggled on the race. Like, uh, that's so annoying. But yeah, I was on a good pace. I think I can get a 101 if I can have a good liquid.
I
For
have
sure,
a
dude.
feeling that hard work's going to pay off for you soon.
It will. It will.
Definitely.
Everyone who's struggled with liquid can eventually get to the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yep.
Like it happened with underwater smoking. He had a lot of trouble with liquid for a while until eventually he was so good at it he did a Guitar Hero controller. So
Really?
like that's it just takes the practice and then it'll
Yeah.
click with you and you basically will never forget how to do it.
Yep. It's like riding a bike. It's just like the rhythm. It's like you'll always be there.
So congratulations to Pazzo on the win. These were
Thank you.
2 very close races for the Claymore group. 13-second gap, 5-second gap, just whew, really takes the breath out of your lungs on that one.
This is the group
Any
of death.
It is the group of death.
Oh,
Very
definitely.
explosive. Any last words from Pazzo, Vermillion, or Glenn?
Hopefully, I pray that no one gets position 7 again.
You got position 7?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
did.
got position
Oh
7.
man.
Not the
Yeah.
first time it's happened in the 2 weeks that we've had this. I think it's
Is the first
happened.
is the first one?
No,
No,
Okay.
second, I think.
there's
Okay.
been at
That's
least
really
one other one.
unfortunate. Yeah.
I am praying
I
to all my future Metal Gear Solid speedrunners that never happens to you guys, especially in a race.
I think I
Uh,
had 4.
Let me see.
I don't remember.
We had 2 in week 1, one by Shard and one by Dan Spence,
Oh.
and then we had 2 rats.
Oh yeah, I remember.
Hopefully we don't see any more rats though. That's what we don't want to see.
Yeah,
Fingers crossed.
that I can co-sign that. That's for sure.
All right,
So
well, GG's guys. I'm out here.
GG.
Good luck to everyone else. Good luck Plywood. Good luck Kamikaze and Tyler and Smoking Ace.
Smoking Ace. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Same here.
Yep. Group FAMAS coming up right after this, folks. So don't get away. We're coming up real hot on game 3 for the All Bosses PC Easy League on Metal Gear Speedrunners. Stay tuned.